Extra virgin olive oil is supposed to be one of the healthiest things you can consume, right? Heart-healthy fats, anti-inflammatory properties, loaded with antioxidants and polyphenols. But here is the dirty secret the olive oil industry does not want you to know. Most of the extra virgin olive oil sold in Australian supermarkets is not real extra virgin olive oil. And I am not exaggerating. Independent testing has shown that up to 37% of imported olive oil labelled extra virgin in Australia does not meet international standards. You are paying premium prices for oxidised, rancid or adulterated oil that is nothing like what the label promises. I have spent months researching this, reading lab reports from Choice magazine and the UC Davis Olive Centre that collaborated with the Australian Oils Research Laboratory. What I discovered is shocking. The olive oil industry is one of the most fraudulent food industries in the world, and Australian consumers are being absolutely ripped off. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which brands to avoid and how to spot fake extra virgin olive oil. Number 10. Woolworths Select Extra Virgin Olive Oil. Let's start with Woolies house brand. At around $10 for a litre, it seems like decent value. But here's the problem. This oil is sourced from Spain and blended from olives of undisclosed origins. When olive oil lacks clear harvest dates or traceability, it is a massive red flag. They are buying the cheapest bulk oil available and bottling it under their label. The quality is completely inconsistent from batch to batch. Independent testing by the Australian Olive Association found many supermarket house brand oils sit right at the upper limits of acceptable standards, meaning they are barely qualifying. Free fatty acid levels can be borderline, and the polyphenol content, which makes olive oil healthy, is often disappointingly low. Polyphenols are the antioxidant compounds that give olive oil its anti-inflammatory properties. Without adequate polyphenols, you are just consuming fat with minimal health benefits. The colour is suspiciously uniform, that bright greenish yellow that looks artificial. Real extra virgin olive oil varies in colour depending on the olive variety and harvest time. The bottle is clear plastic, which is another red flag. Light degrades olive oil rapidly, which is why quality producers use dark glass bottles. If you are cooking with this daily thinking, you are getting the health benefits of real olive oil, you are likely consuming oxidized fats that can actually be inflammatory. Number 9. Coles brand extra virgin olive oil. Same story as Woolworths, different label. Coles house brand olive oil is sourced as a product of Spain, which is corporate speak for bulk oil bought on the commodity market. At around $9.50 a litre, the price alone should tell you the quality is questionable. Real extra virgin olive oil costs significantly more to produce. When you are selling it for less than $10 a litre, corners are being cut somewhere. The taste is bland and oily, with barely any peppery, fruity flavour. That slight burn you should feel at the back of your throat from high-quality extra virgin is completely absent. That burning sensation comes from polyphenols, the antioxidant compounds that provide health benefits. No burn means no polyphenols, which means no health benefits. New South Wales government laboratory testing found that several batches of supermarket extra virgin olive oils, including Coles branded products, did not meet chemical standards for extra virgin classification. The oils contained higher levels of oxidation markers than allowed, indicating they were either old, poorly stored, or not truly extra virgin grade. What really bothers me is that Australian consumers trust these supermarket brands, assuming if Coles is putting their name on it, it must meet basic quality standards. With olive oil, the regulations are so poorly enforced, brands can get away with selling inferior product. Number 8. Bertolli Extra Virgin Olive Oil. Bertolli is a massive international brand and a master of deceptive marketing. The label shows Italian flags and rustic imagery that makes you think of Tuscan olive groves, but the fine print tells a different story. This oil is packed in Italy from imported ingredients sourced from multiple countries. It is industrial bulk oil with Italian branding, not authentic Italian olive oil. At around $23 for 750 millilitres, you are paying a premium for marketing, not quality. A professional blind tasting by Broadsheet Australia found Bertolli fell flat. It was described as unbalanced, with a flabby mouthfeel and a lingering negative aftertaste. Those are not characteristics of genuine extra virgin olive oil. The UC Davis Olive Centre study found that 73% of imported brands, including Bertolli, failed sensory tests, meaning they had defective flavours such as rancid, fusty and musty. The brand has faced multiple class action lawsuits in America for mislabeling. You are buying a brand name, not quality olive oil. The clear bottle is terrible for oil preservation, and this oil is probably oxidized before you even open it. Number 7. Morrow extra virgin olive oil. Morrow is heavily marketed in Australia as premium Spanish olive oil. The advertising shows beautiful olive groves and traditional production methods, but Morrow is mass-produced industrial oil. At around $25 a litre, they are charging premium prices for mediocre oil. Expert analysis comparing Morrow to Australian-produced oil found damning results. Morrow's oxidation markers were significantly higher than Australian competitors, indicating the oil was older or had been exposed to degrading conditions. The free fatty acid level was nearly double that of quality Australian oil, indicating poor quality olives, delayed processing, or improper storage. In a head-to-head chemistry analysis, Morrow lost every single round against Cobra Estate, from free fatty acids to oxidation status to sensory evaluation. The Spanish oil showed its age compared to the fresher Australian product. The flavour was described as less fruity and more bland. What is particularly disappointing is the lack of transparency. Morrow has been criticised for not displaying harvest or bottling dates, making it impossible for consumers to know how fresh the oil is. Without that information, you are gambling on freshness every time. Number 6. Filippo Berio Extra Virgin Olive Oil. Another heavily marketed brand that is actually industrial oil. Filippo Berio has been around for over 150 years, and it has strong brand recognition, especially with older Australians who remember the brand from decades ago. That recognition is being exploited. At around $20 for 750 millilitres, this is expensive oil that does not deliver. Independent testing at UC Davis found that 73% of imported oils, including Filippo Berio samples, failed to meet international sensory standards. The oils were not necessarily fake, but many had oxidized or developed off flavors by the time they reached store shelves. A blind taste test by Delish ranked Filippo Berio dead last among 13 brands, calling it muddy and harsh. The Guardian reviewer found it a bit lazy, with none of the grassy notes that make great olive oil sing. These are not just opinion pieces. Multiple professional tasters have consistently found this brand underperforming. The label lists source countries, typically saying contains olive oils from Italy, Spain, Greece, and Tunisia. The proportions remain secret, and they likely change with each batch. You might buy 2 bottles weeks apart with completely different compositions. They do not publish harvest dates, polyphenol content, or detailed origin information. You are essentially trusting their reputation rather than verifying quality through data. Number 5. Colavita Extra Virgin Olive Oil. Colavita is well known for its Italian heritage, but multiple testing programs have raised serious concerns about quality consistency. A study from UC Davis found that 73% of top-selling imported brands, including Colavita, failed both sensory panels. An independent test estimated the polyphenol content of Colavita at 0.058 milligrams per milliliter, far below what is needed for meaningful health benefits. High-quality medical-grade oils deliver 10 to 15 times that amount. Polyphenols fight inflammation, protect your heart, and give high-quality oil its characteristic peppery burn. Without them, you are just consuming empty calories without the health benefits many people expect. A blind taste test by Delish found Colavita to be astringent and unpleasantly bitter, with tasters noting it burns in a bad way. That harsh burn indicates oxidation, not the pleasant peppery sensation from polyphenols. Their multi-country blends lack harvest dates, specific origin details, or lab test results, so you have no way to verify what you are actually buying. Number 4. La Espanola Extra Virgin Olive Oil. La Espanola is another Spanish bulk oil brand dominating Australian supermarket shelves. The marketing emphasises Spanish heritage and tradition, but this is industrial-scale production intended for the commodity market. Australian government research found something damning about brands like La Espanola. Major imported brands charge the same price for extra virgin, extra light, and pure olive oil, despite extra virgin being a higher grade that costs significantly more to produce. This pricing structure suggests consumers are paying extra virgin prices for lower grade product. The research calculated that Australian consumers are overpaying for lower grade olive oil by millions of dollars annually. When you see extra light olive oil priced identically to extra virgin from the same brand, something is very wrong. Extra light is heavily refined and has virtually no health benefits. The fact that companies can charge the same price for both grades indicates the extra virgin is not worth what you are paying for it. Choice magazine testing found that La Espanola passed basic tests, but showed concerning quality variations from batch to batch. Number 3. Pompeian extra virgin olive oil. This is hands down one of the worst widely available olive oils in Australian supermarkets. Pompeian is an American brand that somehow ended up on Australian shelves, and multiple independent tests have confirmed it is garbage. Consumer Reports and UC Davis found Pompeian failed to meet extra virgin standards on multiple parameters. Chemical testing indicated oxidation, adulteration with refined oils, and sensory defects, including rancidity and fusty flavors. One lawsuit stated the company banks on the fact that consumers cannot discern rancid or adulterated olive oil from true extra virgin. The brand has faced multiple class action lawsuits for mislabeling. The bottle is clear plastic, the worst container for olive oil. Light destroys olive oil rapidly, breaking down beneficial compounds and creating rancidity. By the time you buy it, it has been sitting under supermarket lights for weeks. It is guaranteed to be rancid. The aggressive marketing plasters health claims and uses the term first cold press, which is meaningless because it is standard for all extra virgin olive oil and not a special feature. It is the basic requirement. Carbonell is part of the L'Espanola group and shares many of the same problems. This Spanish bulk oil brand has been caught up in quality controversies across multiple testing programs. New South Wales government laboratory testing specifically named Carbonell among products that did not live up to the extra virgin title. The testing found that Carbonell failed basic chemical tests for extra virgin classification. Following these findings, Woolworths discounted Morrow and Carbonell olive oils, presumably to clear stock of products that could not be sold at premium prices. The Australian Olive Association's research found that imported oils, including Carbonell, often showed quality problems attributable to age, poor storage, or misleading labelling. The oils are transported thousands of kilometres in conditions that may not be optimal. By the time they reach Australian shelves, they may have been in transit for months. What really concerns me is that the company continues selling in Australia despite documented quality issues. The bottles still lack clear harvest dates, and the sourcing remains opaque. Australian consumers keep buying it because the Spanish branding creates an impression of authenticity the product does not deserve. Number 1. Aldi Romano extra virgin olive oil. Aldi's budget olive oil is concerning for different reasons than the imported Italian and Spanish brands. At around $7 for a litre, it is one of the cheapest extra virgin oils available, and you absolutely get what you pay for. While Aldi has signed up to the Australian Code of Practice and claims to test their oils quarterly, the fundamental economics do not add up. Real extra virgin olive oil cannot be profitably produced at this price point. The wholesale price of genuine extra virgin fluctuates with harvest, but producing quality oil is labour-intensive and requires careful handling. At this price, they are sourcing whatever bulk oil they can find at the lowest price, regardless of quality consistency. The product label says it is from Spain or EU countries, which is deliberately vague. The bottle is clear plastic, so even if it was not degraded when bottled, it will be after sitting under supermarket lights. Choice magazine found Romano received middling scores, with notes describing dried herbs and mint flavours, a short finish, and limited transfer to the palate. That is olive oil speak for bland and unimpressive. For daily cooking where you want the health benefits of extra virgin olive oil, this product simply cannot deliver at this price point. Here is what you need to understand about the olive oil industry. So what should you buy? Here are the olive oil brands actually worth your money. Number 1, Cobra Estate Extra Virgin Olive Oil. This is the gold standard for Australian olive oil. Cobra Estate is a Victorian producer with their own groves in the Boundary Bend region. At around $25 for a litre, it is more expensive than many fake imports, but worth every cent. This is genuine extra virgin from a single source, and you know exactly where your olives came from. The harvest date is clearly printed on every bottle, and it is always within the current or recent season because they control the entire process from grove to bottle. The taste is exceptional, fruity and grassy, with that peppery bite at the back of your throat that indicates high polyphenol content. That slight cough you get, that is the antioxidants your body needs. They use dark glass bottles to protect from light degradation, and they have won international awards including gold medals at the New York International Olive Oil Competition. Independent testing consistently finds Cobra Estate meeting or exceeding all chemical and sensory standards for extra virgin classification. Buy this for salads and finishing dishes. Do not waste quality oil on high heat cooking. Number 2, Red Island Extra Virgin Olive Oil. Red Island is actually owned by Cobra Estate, making them Australia's number 3 olive oil brand by market share. At around $20 a litre, it is positioned as a more affordable option while maintaining strict Australian quality standards. The oil is 100% Australian grown, picked, pressed and packed. This vertically integrated approach means quality control at every stage. Red Island has won multiple consumer satisfaction awards, with CanStar Blue rating them the top olive oil brand for customer satisfaction in Australia. The bottles are dark to protect the oil from light damage, and harvest information is clearly displayed. If you have been buying cheap imported oil and want to upgrade to something real, Red Island is an excellent entry point without the price premium of boutique products. Number 3, Squeaky Gate Extra Virgin Olive Oil. Squeaky Gate is an Australian producer making exceptional oil from their Mallee region groves in Victoria. At around $20 for 750 millilitres, it is premium pricing, but the quality justifies the cost. Professional tasters in Broadsheet Australia blind tasting described Squeaky Gate as having good grassiness, with green apple and banana on the nose. The oil showed balanced characteristics that differentiate genuine extra virgin from bland industrial products. Choice magazine found it among the recommended Australian oils, with all chemical and sensory parameters meeting extra virgin standards. The company is committed to single origin Australian production with full traceability. The packaging is professional, with dark glass and clear labelling that includes harvest information. If this video shocked you and opened your eyes to the olive oil scam, smash that like button right now. Share this video with everyone you know, your family, your friends, your co-workers. They need to see this information because most Australians have no idea they are being ripped off. Subscribe to the channel because I am exposing more food industry frauds and helping you make better choices for your health and your wallet. Hit that bell icon so you do not miss the next video. And drop a comment below telling me which olive oil brand surprised you the most, or if you have been using any of these fake oils and did not realize it. I read every single comment and I love hearing from you. Together, we are going to hold these companies accountable and stop getting ripped off. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.